grams of moss, 28 grams of moss. Little people the king, little people the king. Y'all ain't ready for this, y'all ain't ready for this. Champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. Don't know why you can't wanna wait to be with the street just to give you cats a chance to eat. What you got for early didn't finish the plate. Now that I'm back, you rap cats are gonna have to wait. Been gone a whole year, still nobody got the leadership or the heart to even feel my spot. I'm the champion, must I say it again? The best in this rap game and I continue to win. See, I'm allergic to that, losing makes me sneeze. That's like your phony rap cat, about to make me squeeze. Bring your whole crew, nigga, I'ma swallow that. So when it pops off, A&T is on a holler back. It's 28 grams, nigga. I've been running this shit. So anything in front of me can fuck around and get hit. I follow you rap cats, so you niggas my sons, and I'm the truth. Wow. Cause I'm the motherfucking champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. Still rep the A&T, but I carry my throne. God bless every child that can hold it home. And I am that child, as you niggas can see. Cause ain't another rapper out there better than me. And this goes to anybody trying to steal my spot. I'm number one in this shit, so number one you got. So when you gas scream, y'all is the best, I laugh. Like really, you cats don't really know the how. You do the math, and that's yourself who really great. Then add it up and watch it equal up to 28. So that's the damn cats know who really the done. I'm overall, I let you niggas fight for number one. See, I put that on my life, put that on my son. Gotta stay the best of people leaking trade love. And my throne and I'm the key. You can put that on my heart and I'm the God. Cause I'm the motherfucking champion.
D-Lowe's Notary Service. Don Allen Lowe is your personal notary public, serving the Dallas area. You can call 214-962-8275, or you can call the office at 682-200-9345. If you have any other inquiries, you can email dlownotaryservice1@gmail.com. Once again, that's D-Low's Notary Service. Don Allen Lowe is your personal notary public. Any notary duties that you need done, he will be able to get it done. D-Low's Notary Service. Check it out.
Good evening, good evening. Welcome back, one and all. Welcome back to the Anthony Brown Show, this segment that we call the ATL. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe. We appreciate it if you do. The numbers are getting up there. We're on our road to 13,000 subscribers. Definitely hit the like button, which is the thumbs up. And if you comment below, we will read your comments live here on the air. And I'm joined tonight, as always, by my very lovely, very beautiful, light bright sister, Miss Tiama Sweetness. She's muted.
Oh, hello. I said hello, everybody.
Yes. Welcome to the show. And of course, I'm joined by none other than Big Mouth himself, the largest mouth in the South, Mr. Legacy the Great.
ATL.
You got a green tongue, you means contaminated. Yes. And of course, I'm joined by our video editor for the show. We can't do the show without him, none other than Mr. D-Lo himself.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Representing the Big D, Dallas, baby.
Oh, we thought the Big D was something else, but okay, Dallas.
Oh yeah, that too. But Legacy, who you been licking on that got your tongue green over there?
Oh, if he licking on somebody and they made it green, that ain't right.
Right.
That's something wrong.
That's an infection.
You've been
I don't
doing
do.
the dipping. Oh, you've been doing
I
that.
don't do none. I don't do none of that stuff.
What? You said your name
All
was
right.
lick him down.
What is you talking about?
Well, they'll see on the video that's coming out later on. I'm gonna release it tomorrow. The video from my birthday party where you introduce yourself as lick him down.
I would never do that.
Tiffany said, "Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Hi,
Tiffany,
hi.
Lick them down.
Tiffany, make sure
Lick
you
them
click that
down.
button if you haven't subscribed already, and definitely click the like.
That's in
Don't believe it.
legacy. You lick them down.
Don't believe everything you hear,
Hey.
Don Allen.
Yes, Tiamo.
I want to know more about this lick them down.
You is a mess.
Oh, that's what you tongue green. Oh, that dipping camp.
So that's a BC tablet trying to kill that infection.
Wow. My brother just had a lily dilly or a lollipop.
No,
That's
it's
what I
that
had.
camp that he eat.
Too.
That's what it is, sis. Don't let Don Allen and Tony lead you the wrong
Nobody
way.
asked for your commentary. Nobody asked for your commentary.
Who you don't come for my sister. Don't come for my sister, Don Allen. You're doing
Let
too
me
much.
gather you. I hate to tell you, everybody and their mama want my comment, my input, my just be around. Sorry.
Wow.
But I didn't ask for it, so maybe that's just them.
Well, guess
Cocky
what? You
much.
got it because you're on the ATL show, and I'm definitely the T. Thank you for my Delta sign, boo.
Don Allen, don't get gathered like
No.
that. Don't get gathered
Being
like
that
that.
I'm on the
I'm not even
ATL show, my
gonna
comment is
dignify
wanted.
that with a comment. I'm
I
not even
want
gonna
you.
dignify that with a comment.
I want you.
Don Allen, I'm sorry.
I want you.
I'm being petty. Listen, y'all. I had such a good day today. Like, for real.
What's going on?
Nothing. Just, it was a good day. Then the night turning crazy. But overall, it was a good day.
Well,
That's good.
keeping
That's good to hear.
in line with being that the month is February, they gave us the shortest month of Black History Month. I found a video I want to share with you guys. I'm trying to find one every show, but this is one video I found for our Black History Month.
Exists because white people think they're better than black people, and they want to oppress us, and they want us to allow ourselves to be oppressed.
This is the big, I agree with you perfectly. This is the basic problem.
Then what do you
That
want to
white
talk to me
people
about?
think they're better
What is it
than
that I can
others.
do? I can't solve the problem. You guys pull the strings that close schools. You guys draw the boundaries that keep our kids restricted to the ghetto. You guys write up the restrictive covenants that keep us out of houses. So it's up to you to talk to your brothers and your sisters and persuade them that they have a responsibility. We've assumed ours for over 400 years, and we're tired of this kind of stuff now. We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies. No more praying for those who despitefully use us. We're going to show you that we've learned the lessons you've taught us. We've studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with a man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama. And I can say you because you're part of the whole system. You profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you've tried to force upon us is contaminated. So you can have him.
Talk about being gathered.
I mean, that was a gathering.
He was gone.
Talk about being snatched ball. If he had any hair left when he left, that was amazing because that man just snatched him ball. Oh, while cutting somebody else's hair, he snatched him ball. He reached out with his third eye, his third hand, and snatched him ball while he was cutting the boy hair. Snatched his whole wig off.
Gotta share that video.
Because when you think about it, Tony, actually, what he was saying in that video is so true. And I know you, Legacy, you can me being, that you're a Muslim. You do this type of research on the let's say the Caucasian, the white man, and everything that they've gotten, they've taken by force. It was never given to them. It was never willingly given to them. Nobody ever willingly gave up anything. They've always taken stuff by knives, by guns, by force.
Don't say that.
I'll say what? Wow, he did that. He did. Oh, yeah, they're savages. That's why. Have you ever seen someone brought it to my attention the other day? If you've ever seen black people fight, we fight like, we just finna go in. But if you've ever seen white people fight, they fight like savages, like knuckle dragging savages, because that's exactly who they are. And so that man just called it out and said, hey, I'm calling you out for being savages. We should have left y'all asses up in the Caucasus Mountains where we found you. We should have left you there and let you drag your knuckles and let you eat to each other. We should have never taught y'all how to speak proper English. We should have never taught y'all language. We should have never taught y'all math. We should have left you up there to get fend and scavenge for yourself. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I feel like gathering myself. I apologize.
Legacy, what do you think about that video?
I love it. I've seen that video a lot. You know what my stance is with that. They haven't. I mean, I remember watching. I want to say it was either Farrakhan, Malcolm X, or it was Muhammad Ali that once had an interview where I think they were speaking to Mike Wallace, who was a news anchor one time, and Mike Wallace was trying to say
that was Ali. That was Ali.
Black Americans are the most violent individuals in the United States of America. And I think, like I said, it was one of those three, but Gun Allen said it was Muhammad Ali that said it was Muhammad Ali. But what he said was that white America in no time could ever call someone the most violent people on the planet, when everything that white America has, or any European that's in power, have come, has always been by deception and has been by force. And they are the most violent individuals to have ever walked the planet. There are a bunch of people, but nobody has slaughtered, killed, pillaged, assassinated, raped, assassinated whole lineages of life of certain type of people, races, except for white folks. But because, like he said, they the ones who make the rules, and by them being the ones that get to make the rules, they get to rewrite history how they want to rewrite it. And it's crazy because it's not that we don't have a voice. It's just that the majority of black people don't care to voice their opinion on things that really matter. If you ask a lot of black people, black men who have status in America, they ain't worried about what's going on with the black race. They're worried about how they're gonna get their next Bentley, their next Ferrari, their next this. Most black women, they don't care.
Adrian say right, they don't care.
And the average the boss women, the boss this, the boss that, they worried about the next Gucci Fendi purse or whatever Louis Vuitton purse that's coming out. And if you ask them, what can you do to help? It was kind of like what the dude said. They worried about the new hike, as Adrian said. So it's hard for us to get on one accord when we're so distracted on trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's why we don't have a voice, because if you notice, every time we start to, or it seems like we're starting to come together on an issue, they'll throw something out on social media because they know most people's attention span is very short. They'll throw something out on social media, something new that they need to buy, or something new diversion. And we fall for it every time. We cannot, as you say, Tony, shorter than a mosquito's petal. That's how long their attention spans are. So by the time the issue come about or needs to be addressed, they don't care about it because they're worried about how can I stay relevant. And it's just sad. And that man spoke volumes. But that's why I always say, I always tell you about the police officers, the good and the bad, and how the good never, take on the bad ones. It's the same thing. Until white people are ready to correct their counterparts, their sisters, their brothers, then the change is not going to take place because they're the ones that are in position to change laws and policies.
I agree.
I agree too.
Right. I agree 100% with Leslie. I agree 100%.
Black History Month. I'm gonna show a commercial, and right after that, I'll show another video pertaining to one of the topics. Which topic do y'all want to discuss first? The secret of selling to blacks, or was DJ Twitch murdered?
I think we should.
Well, I want to talk about DJ Twitch.
We should go ahead and talk about the blacks because we've already just introduced the black history. So let's see how they use the thing to keep us distracted from being one.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Legacy Unlocked. When you're locked out of your vehicle, can't get in your car, call Legacy. Serving West Palm Beach and surrounding cities. That's area code 229-630-7615. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you been denied disability, Social Security, or custodianship of your children? Call Antonio Williams. He has the knowledge and experience to fight the government on your behalf. Let him represent you. That's Antonio Williams, your non-legal attorney consultant.
George Jefferson.
Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. Do you wonder why?
Wow. Wow. So they really thought they had us pegged back in the day. That basically niggas are so stupid they gonna want to buy stuff that they really can't afford, or they gonna want to buy shiny things.
And they are correct. They are 1,000% correct.
Very.
Really?
Yeah, really. Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you. You will sit there, like, let's say you'll spend money that you know you need to go elsewhere and there'll be something on that you want, but you will overlook your needs just to have that want, knowing that you need it. Black people are known for it. They call that, what they normally say, you trying to be like the Joneses. Always. In Atlanta, I know a dude. This bitch was always well dressed. You was to see him, you think you got a full baller, but that bitch was sleeping in his car.
But he look good though.
That motherfucker was dressed to the nine, baby, but ain't have nowhere to lay his head. That is actually a fact. A sad fact, but it's true.
Go ahead, Tony.
I can't understand that.
Like you said, like you.
I've seen where people have had Mercedes Benz, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, but you're renting.
Exactly.
You're not renting a luxury apartment. You're renting in the hood. So you're in the hood with a
right.
Your house is in the parking lot because the amount of money you put on that car could have bought you a house. So you bought a house on 4 wheels because you want to look good in your car. Something you're only going to be in 20 minutes to work and 20 minutes home, and the rest of the time is sitting in your garage or sitting in the parking lot.
Right.
I was watching 2 clips today. One was by Waka Flocka, and one was by another lady who's a millionaire, and she said that she had got, when she first became a millionaire, she didn't understand how these big companies like Bentley, Lamborghini, Ferrari, and Porsche and all this got her phone number. And once she became a millionaire over, she noticed that they started calling her, telling her all these discounted breaks and stuff like this. Companies start calling her that she never, ever had calling before. And the banks were leaking these informations to these companies,
right,
that were letting them know that this person can't afford to outright buy your car, or outright buy this home, or outright buy this furniture at this high-end stuff. And so she was asking the salesperson who called her from Bentley's, how did they get her number? And she said they told her that it came up in some type of thing that she applied for, and she knew she hadn't applied for nothing, pretty much not with her name that wasn't up under her company. So when she was using her business, but they called her personal number. And she was like, where would you get this information from? And they wouldn't tell her. But she found out that the banks were leaking it. And she was like, so she seen the car that she wanted, but the car was $235,000. And she said she went home. She said she wanted to buy, but then she got to thinking to herself, why would I buy? Why would I want to ride around in my house? Because I could take that money and go buy a home with that would eventually take in more equity. So she said that when she went and bought, she didn't get the car. And she said that after a month, the bank people they called her again, not the bank people, but the car people called her again and asked what happened. Why didn't she come get the car? And she told them that she changed her mind. It's one of the things that the salesperson say, well, we don't understand because you can afford to get it. How do you outright know that I can afford to get it?
Afford to get it, yeah.
And the second thing, I watched Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka said that when he became a multi-millionaire over, that he was buying stuff not just because it looked good, but he was buying like Bentleys and Rolls Royces just to ride around the hood so he can show niggas that he doing better than them. And he said one day he rode by this condo that had 12 buildings, that had 12 rooms in it, and it was for $300,000. He said when he went and parked his car, he realized that he paid more for his car than what that building was worth. And that over the years, and the building's still vacant now. And that he thought to himself, in the 10 years, that was like 10 years ago, he was saying that he now thought about what that building would have been worth to him right now had he had invested that money into that building, into that car, because he no longer even have the cars anymore.
He said, Adrian said, yes, they've been doing it for years.
Right. So it just tells us that because, and this is for anybody, it could be on the high end or the middle class or the low. When you come from never not having anything or never experiencing being able to buy things that you will always seem to never going to be able to afford, you tend to want to go out and buy those things so that you can show the Joneses and everybody else that you have arrived and you have made it. But in truth, the reason that they tell you in the stores and they tell you at the car lots that you can't afford this is not to deter you from buying it, but to trick you into buying it, because we have a mentality of I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you that you can't tell me what I can and can't do when it comes to spending my money. And our truth is just a gimmick to get you to spend unnecessary money that you don't have to have, that you don't have to spend.
That's so true. I remember this
so true.
This is the one story I want to share with y'all. Now, you know, like when a newborn baby is born, they have those white shoes that are made to help mold their feet so that they can walk in. Okay, those shoes are made for a baby's foot to help mold and shape their foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those shoes are sold in every store that sells baby shoes. I remember when I was working at Walmart, there was a cashier, had a newborn baby. The baby had been on this earth in less than 7 days. This baby has $200 pair of Jordans. Now, I asked her, why would you buy a $200 pair of Jordans for their child and they're going to grow out of them in a month? She said, oh, my baby can't wear those shoes back in the back. How in the hell you know what your baby can wear when you ain't never even bought those shoes, even try them on your baby?
Meaning what she meant was her kid ain't finna be in no bubbles.
Gerber. They call them.
That's what she was. That's what she was trying to say.
They call them booties. They call them booties. And
y'all saw what I said when my brother brought Tyson those $300 pair of Gucci's. Who? You better not think your mama gonna do it. Oh, don't get it twisted. His daddy's stupid enough to do it. His mama not. No, ma'am. Not for no one shoe. Miss me with that.
I said to myself, she just bought a $200 pair of shoes for this child. She's part-time, so the shoes probably more than her check. Or she spent her whole check on the shoe. Girl, what you gonna eat next week?
But you know what's so funny? We doing this show. Each and every last one of us know at least 70% of people that live way above their means and be struggling every month. I live so beneath my means it ain't halfway funny. Don't I? Like anybody that know me, real junk. I live the bare minimums. Your girl is good.
But it's just a taught mentality.
I'm sorry, I don't like the struggle. The struggle trying to figure out how to do things. That's a mentality that you got to get tired of at some point. That's worse than massa.
You self
when them bills sitting on your bike making your hair turn gray and all the rest of that, come on. Nope. The biggest decision I had to make today that I want to get on a boat with somebody I didn't never see them get captain license. And that was easy for me. I have never seen you do a boat. Now I ain't getting on nobody's boat. Like simple stuff. But if I know my light bill is due, but I just brought all these Uber Eats and if I spent my money stupidly or some shit, and I know I got bills, or I'm sitting there trying to go here, go there, because that person doing it, now I'm straight. I'm not finna struggle for the next person to get rich off of me.
I mean,
so I don't care what my ancestors, what my mama them taught me, what they didn't taught me. Common sense don't cost nothing. I know the word sense on that, but that bitch is free.
Listen, Tay, remember we just watched the thing that Tony showed about a week or so ago about the lady who wanted to go to the Beyonce concert that was supposed to be saving for the her wedding, and she was willing to lose her fiance, and the house that they were paying to buy, saving to buy for, to go help make somebody else rich and
richer.
And I'm like, do you not know that you can't write these people? Usually, you can't write these people and say, "Hey, Beyonce, Jay-Z, my lights going to be cut off. I came to your concert. Can you send me them $700 back so that my lights don't get cut off and my water?" Most of the time, you never get a reply. So, and they have somebody to screen those letters and emails and stuff for them. So a lot of times they don't even get seen by the individual. So I don't know. I mean, I do understand as a child, because I grew up wanting Jordans and wanting these things, and I never understood really the value of why you shouldn't do those things or try to chase everything that's a new fad or fashion, because most of the time the people that sets those trends and fashions already got money.
Yep.
And half of the time, black people won't even go out. If you can have a black person who owns a very nice clothing business, and because their clothes are not talked about in the fashion industry as quote unquote fire, quote unquote lit, you will, and those clothes look just as good as Gucci, Fendi. They're good, but it's black owned, and they're selling their clothes. They are shirt at $30, or selling their shoes at $55. You would say, no, I'm not gonna give them folks that money, because you can't see yourself giving money to a black business that individual will benefit from, but you have no problem dropping $3,000, $5,000 for these white companies that are multi-billionaire over every year. What most people don't realize, I told y'all this.
Can I break in on that right quick? Just that thought right there. And most of those white companies don't give a crap about black people, and they'll tell you they didn't design their clothes and their stuff for black people anyway.
But that's the ploy. That's the reason they say those things. Because when Tommy Hilfiger made the statement that he didn't make his clothes for black urban, Oprah Winfrey went and bought him out. Listen, if you buy me out at a few $100 million, now I don't. Let's say she bought him out for like $80 million. That's less time and energy of him having to work to make that money over the years, compared to I made a blatant statement, you didn't like it, and you came and bought me out. Now Tommy Hilfiger is not even around really making the money that it was before, because guess what? Oprah didn't take that brand and turn it up and make it even grander than what it was. She just bought him out just so that he could shut his mouth, and now the company going away. So what was the purpose of buying that company? What you supposed to have to do was just not spend a damn dime with him, which are us, and let him understood the suffering of the black dollar not coming into your company.
Yes. They to understand how much that our black dollar really means something. That our black dollar is very beneficial, because if black folks stop buying shit, all these companies is gonna feel it, and they're gonna feel it hard if we stop buying stuff.
When it comes to the retail market or the retail industry, the black dollar when it comes to the retail industry, the black dollar is the number one consumer. We're the number one consumers that buy stuff. Black people.
Yep. The black dollar.
But the thing is, we may see it and we may understand that, and a lot of more other people may. But the dollars that they really don't, the dollars that they worry about are the poor people dollars. That's the dollar that they really have to gather, because they know that black people who and some white and other nationalities as well, but the black dollar, we have to keep the black dollar in circulation, because they don't care about being poor or staying in a poor status, because they are already poor. So like Thelma said, the person who bought that car was okay with buying that car and not buying a house, because he knew that the car and the way that he dressed would open up doors in a woman's house to allow him to have somewhere to lay his head. So there was no reason for him to worry about where he was going to sleep or if he had to sleep in his car, because he knew somebody was going to be dumb enough to let him stay in their house at least. If I got to make that journey twice, 2 times a year, I spend 6 months before I end up losing the relationship with another chick, and then another 6 months, chick, because she like me, she like how I dress, she like how I smell, she like that I got a car, and I get to live with her for another 6 months. That's a whole year gone. I can start my plan all over again.
Let me tell you, in Atlanta, it's some people that do it. I swear. My cousin was like, oh my God, he's so fine. Look at this, look at that. Let me tell you, that's all you was doing was looking.
That's it.
Because, baby, he have nothing to contribute. Like, honey, if your boundaries is only what's in the nigga pocket and what you think you gonna get, you finna get bamboozled like a mud. Real bamboozled.
Listen, let me tell you, you know what the number one car sale for black males in the United States? Dodge Challengers, Hellcats. More black males spend more money on buying Dodge Challengers and Hellcats than buying houses. That car run easily around roughly about $70,000-$80,000.
That's a house right there.
And I guarantee, Thelma, you and Tony, y'all drive, y'all see guys pull up beside you. Sometimes they come in packs. Oh, I got me a Dodge, I got me a Hellcat.
Legacy. You just shot Wick right out the sky. You don't remember that fool had two on bike to bike, brand new. A 2019, then turned around and got a 2022. But I'm finna bike up my dog. He got his priorities straight in that credit A1.
That's what I'm finna tell you. Wick go to work every day as well. So Wick brings something to the table. So if you can go to work every day and do that, then that's cool, because you still have a house to lay your head in. You still taking care of your responsibility. But like I'm basing it off of the people that, how you said the cat is in Atlanta. Yeah, you don't even have a place to lay your head.
But you sharper than a motherfucker.
Okay.
That's crazy.
It's just the way the game go, and people don't understand. Most people, especially men are in competition with men, and women are in competition with women. Not in competition to compete for each other, the opposite, or however it may be, but you in competition for no reason. And the vast majority of people are still living in the slums. I had a homeboy just like Tony and Thelma was saying. This joker had easily $15,000 up under his hood, $5,000 in a paint job, and $15,000 in rims. And him and his girlfriend stayed in the projects. And then when somebody came from this is when I was living in Georgia. When somebody came from Orlando, he went to a car show, came back to Valdosta, and didn't notice the people followed him, and woke up and his car was gone the next day.
Wow.
Never to find it again. Never to find it again.
Wow.
So now you done at least lost 45 bands. You just were trying to show off when you could have dropped them 45 bands and got you and your girl out of the projects.
True. You could even bought. This is what I understand as far as don't understand invest, having your money make money for you. He could have put that $45,000 or $50,000 down on a duplex, an apartment. If you want to stay in an apartment, get a duplex. You stay in one, rent out the other one. Boom. Now you have income coming in, which pays your mortgage. Your income is yours.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just be real. I understand that point. But most, especially African Americans, was not taught that till at least recently. Most African Americans wasn't taught financial literacy. What you was taught was go to high school, graduate, go to college, get a degree, open up your banking and a checking and a savings account, work hard, put your money in a bank account, and when you retire, you'll have some money. That's what was being taught until social media had this large stream to where people were actually able to get out. Black people and white people who are able to get out and teach financial literacy. This is when now you start to see it's like a big boom. Now everybody can learn it. Now everybody can see it.
Right.
But 25 years ago, this was not being taught. Only the people who knew about it was able to lock this down. Like people didn't realize when.
I'm still here listening to you.
We appreciate. A lot of people don't realize that before the recession that happened, that took place when Bush was in office and Barack coming into it, there were more homes and property sold at lower rates. First, they blew up the properties. I don't know, that's Tayama.
Hey, Juice Cake.
Hey, Cake.
Everybody.
First, they ballooned the property value and made it to where people couldn't live in the property. Then after doing that, they sold them to investors and people who had the money to buy the properties who are financially literate to what it is to buy properties and homes at lower cost. So that's why when we came out of the recession to a degree, most people had lost their homes and properties to foreclosure because they ballooned the prices of them. The banks acted like they needed to foreclose on these loans because of the recession. And now we're saying, okay, well, why people don't do this and do that? Why don't our educational system teach financial literacy? So just imagine starting to get financial literacy, financial empowerment in middle school. By the time you get out of high school and this is a required course to graduate, you're financially literate. You can go into knowing, okay, I need to start saving my money. So by the time I'm 23, I should be buying my first home.
Yes.
But they don't want to teach financial literacy because if everybody learns more to become more financially literate, then most people, especially us, will stop spending their dollar as if they got a tree in their backyard and it's full of $100 bills.
Damn.
Juicy, well, you didn't get, I don't know if you hear Juicy, but you didn't get a chance to see the video. And we were just basically talking about how come, how the machine actually works on how they actually do things and retail sales and car dealerships and things like that to pretty much bully and persuade African, well, I know you hate that word, but our people to believe that the best way to get them to spend more money is to tell them what they can't afford, and that causes the black person or the black people to spend their money more because they're out to prove that we can buy what we want to buy. So how do you feel about that, Kate?
I mean, I agree. It's the same when you tell a kid not to do something, and that's going to entice them more to do it. And so it's like reverse psychology, and they do it. But gotta be stronger than that. And it starts at the home.
Is it your birthday?
It is my birthday.
My mom too.
Happy birthday,
happy
Kate.
Thank you.
Well, how about I say happy birthday to you? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy motherfucking birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Juicy. Happy birthday.
That was beautiful. It's been a wonderful birthday. It has.
Today just been a good day. Like people being nice.
Yes, it's been a good.
People being so nice, so polite.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in DC and the bus driver today. I had to just tell you know what, you had you a good evening. She wasn't nice at all. But everybody else been nice. Because if we stick together, we outbeat them any day. We are the Creole enemies. That's the problem. We are our own enemies, yes, and that's
we get this spot.
We want to outdo
but we can't. But we can't help it, Juicy.
My neighbor.
We can't help it because we were taught from slavery to hate each other. We were taught to spy on each other and tell on each other, and we were taught if we could get together as black people. That's the problem. If we get together and have investment groups or Kamal said that boy can sing. I wish.
Thank you, Kamal. I try to tell him all the time.
If we can have it and get together as black people and invest in buildings, invest in properties, because that's what Caucasian people do. But black folk, because I want to be in charge, I want to be the big head. I want to be the executive. We can't get together enough to even say, hey, let's get, just like remember when those churches were talking about getting together to buy the auditorium. Remember that? All the black churches in West Palm Beach were talking about, but because who gonna be over it? Who gonna be there? Everybody up here fighting. This pastor fighting this. No, I'm gonna be in charge. No, I'm gonna put the majority of the money. Because they couldn't do it. Then what ended up happening? The Jehovah's Witnesses bought the auditorium because they couldn't get together and get it. And you know why? Because the Jehovah's Witnesses is a majority Caucasian faith, and it's ran by Caucasian people. So they already had their money together, and they're very together. Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't fight amongst themselves, but black folk couldn't get together enough to buy one big, beautiful auditorium that we could have still been using, but now we got to use that other little, what's that conference center over there on the other side by City Place. Now we got to use that little conference center that ain't even that big. We got to use that for things now because we couldn't, and for one decision, get together because everybody wanted to be the big chief and nobody wanted to be the little Indians. Everybody wanted to be the big chief. Nobody could decide together. None of the preachers could get together and get it. But like I said, we've been taught from slavery to lie on each other, spy on each other, to rat each other out, to hate each other, to think that one is better than the other, to think that lighter skin is better than darker skin, and to think that this is, we've been taught from slavery, and it's like we can't get it out of our blood. It's like a blood thing. We can't get it out of us. It's like it's so ingrained and so ingrained in us that we just can't seem to get over it. We can't get together to do nothing. Like let's say for instance, and I'm finished right here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be long-winded. You got 5 different churches on one street, black churches. Ain't but 6 people at each church. Why? Tiffany said, "Happy birthday, Juicy."
Thank you.
You got 6 people in each one of those 10 churches, 5 churches. Why y'all can't get together and say, "Hey, we'll just all come in together. Ain't gonna be no one pastor, one big pastor, one little pastor. We're all ministers. We'll minister, take turns, and we'll all minister together. Let's just bring our churches together and make one church instead of having 5 different churches with 6 members. When we could put them 5 churches together with those 6 members, because 5 times 6 is what, 30, right? So now we got 30 members in one church. That's more tithe, more offering. We could get a building together, but no, because everybody want to crabs in a barrel. We can't. Why is it that everybody, people who are from other countries, other races, they can get together, buy stuff like Mexican people come over here and they'll work hard. They'll stay in the house. 20 of them will stay in the house together, and then Jorge break off with his family and take them over there. Then they go and say, "Hey, Maria and them, y'all come with y'all family and come and live in our house until you can get money." And then you break off. You know what I'm saying? They break off. They're like, "Hey, okay, you come over here. We'll all live together. We'll all ride bus, that old school bus. We'll rent that old school bus." I'm not making fun, but I'm telling you this is how together they are and how community they are. You live in my house. When you get enough money to get your own house, you go get your house, take some of the people from this house, and then Tiffany said, "That's right. And then we'll send over to Mexico and get some more people to come to this house, and then we'll start the whole." And if you ever notice, those people are filthy, not rich, but they got a lot of money. When they come to stores, they shell out hundreds of dollars at one time, because I've been a cashier. And they will shell out. They'll come to the register, and you be like, "Well, your total is $475." They'll take out a water money this big, and shell out. You know why? Because it's 20 of them in the house. They can afford to pay one and help each other until the other one got the money. Let's say the other one want to start a business doing lawns, yards. The other want to start a cleaning business. The other want to start a massage business. You know what I'm saying? They help each other. Why is it that black folk, we can't do that? What is it about us that we just can't get together? It's like we just can't do it. It's like an impossibility. We can't do it. Can somebody answer? Let me run on. Can somebody answer that? Legacy, I know you good at that. Can you answer that?
I mean,
why can't we do that?
I mean, you've elaborated, it's perfectly said, but I would just say that most of the time it's jealousy of one another. It's also that we don't love one another.
Right.
We don't trust one another.
We don't trust one another.
Trust, yes. Tiffany say, "I agree 100." But that, like I said, that's been taught to us by slavery. Yeah.
But again, you got to look at like what Juicy do. Juicy has an open policy. Well, not Juicy has some of her older kids living in the house and contributing to the income in the house because they have gotten to an age to where they should be contributing. to make the load easier on her. Most black families kick their children, not just say kick them out, but we're pretty much raised and taught that at 18, it's time to do your own thing and it's time for you to get your own place.
You don't.
And a lot of times, most of us are ready to go because I'm tired of living up under this rule. And another thing that I've noticed is if you just look at the different races of people, white people respect and are okay with their elders being the leaders. Spanish people, and the way that they're raised is to respect the elders and the ancestors. And that's why you don't, even if you look at the Indian group of people, it's not the youth that is ahead of the tribes. They go and talk to the ancestors about situations, and they can't make decisions and moves without getting permission from these elders. And as life progresses, they see who is learning the lessons, who are actually living by the traditions that they're teaching. And then when those elders fade out, they assign someone else to be in charge, and the group and the tribe understands that this is why this person is the next in charge. Black folks don't do that. Half of us don't have big mamas no more. Half of us don't have granddaddies, and our mothers, especially the new generation, the average mom is about 15 to 18. The average dad is between 20 to 15. And by the time the child gets to 15, the mom and daddy only 30 and 32. You're not my elder. That's the way that the mindset is. You are my sister. You my damn sister.
Are you picking on me?
No, I'm not. I'm just talking about in general. That's how it goes.
My daughters have my age.
When you tend to not have the elders in place, like how Donella was talking about the Hispanic people, they tend to be okay with living it because they have a hierarchy, and nobody is trying to buck the hierarchy. They understand that, sister, my is the leader of this house, and we're gonna be okay with his rule because he knows how to rule well. So we're gonna live here, get our stuff together, and then when we move in our own, we can start how we want to. But no matter what, they all stick together. But to me now, only American black people are this way because the Haitians are together like that. They got little Haiti down the way. They got little Haiti in West Palm Beach, right over here in Lake Park. They got little Cuba. They got little Italy. They have these foundations to where that they can go if they have a gripe, to where that they can go in and talk to somebody that's up the chart or up the scale to say, what do you think about this? And that person can make a decision for the group if nobody else can. Only Americans that are black in America don't have that, because we are so busy competing with one another that, like Tayama say, we don't trust each other. Like I say, we don't know how to love each other. And the reason we can't love each other is because there's no way I can love you on the outside and don't know how to love who is in my house.
Bam.
Amen.
And until we learn to love each other as a whole group and to not look to find a way to take over this or to take over that from one another, we're going to continue to be up under the rule and control of another race.
You know, another part, hey T Savage, that
hey my baby.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Savage.
Hey Savage.
Another part that
hey Savage
fall into that when you say competition is a lot of the blacks are in competition with doing better than their parents did. And so
yes,
their motivation isn't even the next man. It's already getting out of what they came from. And so their goal is one track, one oriented, and that's self and conquer and do whatever it takes.
Most definitely.
Yep, mama raised us in the project, so when I grow old enough to get out on my own, I ain't gonna be in the project.
And I ain't never coming back.
And depending on how they saw their parents treat each other determines how their outlook is on what they should or shouldn't do. Because if mama had to do all she had to do and she did it, a lot of them gone and they ain't caring whether they got to go back and help mama. They going to go do what they got to do because mama did it. She can keep doing it. And so that creates a discord and competition there because the mom is still all this that I did and I still got to keep doing. So now they competing against each other instead of team working with each other.
Right.
But until we do it at the house, and like for me, like you speak, I had one here, but I got one who left too. He was just like me, but he left. I left because I had to come take care of my dad. So I think if I hadn't left, he probably would not have left as soon because he didn't come to follow me. However, I made sure that he would be in that same mindset that if at 23 he wanted to purchase a home, he would be able to do what he wanted to do at 23, you know? And so him leaving the house was clearly on his own choice.
Right.
It wasn't in the competition of, like, I tell him he can't compete with me because I clean windows.
You can't compete, but you can't compare.
No.
Right.
But people be trying.
Wow.
Before we get ready to move on to the next topic, this is the first time this year since the ATL has been back that we've had full staff of everybody being here. So this is
what my check? You said full staff. I don't clock in nowhere and don't get a check. You and Tony, I will catch y'all in the back office.
I just want to say this right quick. My intention was to come on here when the show started, because I actually finished my class today, so I have the time available. I had 205 assignments, and I did 180 in a matter of a week just so I could hurry up and get back to the show. But the situation that I was dealing with my kid, I wasn't able to make it, and I'm just coming in now because I'm just trying to calm down. My head is pounding right now. I cried for like 2.5 hours, but I can't cry this away. So I figured, let me just try to, get some type of sense of normality. I guess that would be the word.
Yeah.
What I would have been doing, instead of being over here worried. So I said, well, let me just come. Then I said, well, dang, everybody got their camera on. So let me cut my camera on.
I still haven't made it in the house. I'm still in the car.
Well, Tony put me out. Let me cut my camera on because I didn't want to get put out the first day back. So if you see a little flesh, just take it as love.
Listen, I wanted a big boy.
That's some delicious chocolate flesh, baby.
I mean,
that's that delicious chocolate.
Trying to get her class dance for her birthday.
Listen,
I'm just trying to.
Be savage. You ain't looking at did you look at the screen?
What screen?
I said that's some delicious chocolate flesh.
So funny. You don't even like this kind of child.
Girl, I know, right? Why are you trying to send temptation waves that you can't handle?
Right.
No, but I'm saying she looking good tonight though with them lashes on and things. She looking a little delicious over there. Made me change my mind. Yeah.
Well, listen,
looking
only
delicious over
there. You all the way up with that.
That's true, and that's true. And he got to come down and do that.
On that note, Allen, we'll be back after the commercial break.
Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between.
Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at www.justinTime Accessories. Just in Time Accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Check it out. Just in Time Accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at
Okay, welcome back. If you're just now tuning in, this is the ATL show, being brought to you by the Anthony Brown Show. And tonight's topic, we have a two-part conversation. Half of it is the secret of selling to blacks, which we just finished discussing. And now we're going into, was DJ Twitch murdered? Twitch was the DJ and co-producer of the Ellen DeGeneres show. And recently he passed away from suicide, allegedly. He left behind 3 kids, two kids of his own, and when he got married to the young lady that he was married to, she had a daughter that she had adopted, so he had 3 kids that he loved dearly. And society and the world, they just can't believe that someone like Twitch, with his personality and the way he carried himself, would actually commit suicide. So another podcaster and some other people have done some in-depth research, and this is what they came to find out, and then we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
All right, begin.
What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and slide on this topic. And I want to talk about some information that just came across my desk in regards to the passing of DJ Twitch. So you guys know the drill by now. You know, all the information that I'm about to spill to you is all alleged. I have to protect the integrity of my platform and also show some respect and honor to his family, especially his kids. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and get down to business. So guys, it was conveyed to me that DJ Twitch may have had vital information in regards to Ellen DeGeneres being a part of ST. Now, I know that I'm abbreviating the actual words here, but I'm pretty sure that you guys can put 2 and 2 together to understand what I'm trying to say. Now, I told you guys in my last video in regards to this situation that it was told to me that DJ Twitch was actually snitching on Ellen to Warner Brothers, and that's the actual company that was producing her show. Now, reportedly, Ellen was blindsided and devastated that it was actually Twitch who was going back to Warner Brothers talking about things that happened at work and things that happened outside of work. And so, of course, Ellen felt betrayed. Now, what was expressed to me is the fact that Twitch confided in a couple of co-workers about the possibility and the rumors that were circulating in regards to Ellen being a part of that whole fiasco dealing with Epstein Island. Because if you guys can remember, Ellen's name sure as hell was on that docket for being a frequent visitor to Epstein's Island, and that she had a hand in ST. Now, I know that there's information circulating that's stating that Ellen's name has been cleared by the FBI, but I've been told that the investigation is still ongoing. Now, it was also brought to my attention that her employees having issues with her and her being nasty and things of that nature. Warner Brothers knew that for years, that Ellen was a difficult person to work with. I'm told that that wasn't the reason why they canceled her show. I'm told that it's the speculation along with the investigation of Ellen being tied to Epstein's Island, right? Now, what I want to do right here is implement this photo, right? And I want you guys to be honest and drop down in the comments and let me know if you thought that I've lost my mind. But I believe that when I break it down to you, you're going to see what I see. So when you take a look at Epstein's Island, and I'm talking about the building surrounded by all the palm trees, and then when you proceed to take a good look at Ellen's former studio, you can compare the two, Epstein's Island and her former studio, and say that the two of them are definitely identical. So the question that follows next is, was it just a coincidence that Ellen's studio set mimicked what Jeffrey Epstein's Island looked like? Well, let me be the first to go ahead and volunteer and tell you my thoughts and opinions. Hell no, this ain't no coincidence. I told you guys in my last video, these folks be playing in our face with these symbols and satanic numbers and things of that nature that mean something, you know, in their regards due to their satanic beliefs and things like that. So hell no, this ain't a coincidence. This is too identical in my opinion. Now, another stunning and shocking revelation that was brought to my attention is the fact that Anne Heche, which is Ellen's ex, was friends with Twitch behind Ellen's back. And in fact, if Twitch had any knowledge of Ellen's possible involvement in CST, that information came from Anne Heche. Now, we all know that Anne Heche passed away September 11, 2022, and in the neighborhood that she crashed in, one of the residents' security footage caught Anne Heche driving past the house frantically as if she was running away from something. You guys remember this, right? And then there was this footage of Anne Heche being zipped up in a body bag after she had the accident, but when they proceeded to put her in the ambulance, she came up out of that body bag like she was trying to get away from something yet again. Now, we all know that Anne was on the brink of exposing Hollywood on all the CST scandals. And so basically, you know, she was working on a film called Girl in Room 13. Now, what's extremely alarming about the passing of Anne Heche is the fact that she was working with a politician by the name of Jackie Worlowski, right? They were going to work together and band together to expose Hollywood for CST. But you can't tell me it's a coincidence that Jackie and Anne passed away within 2 weeks of each other. Jackie passed away on August the 3rd in 2022 with two of her co-workers in the car. You know what I'm saying? And then Anne passed away August the 11th, 2022. And so when you look at the passing of both Jackie and Anne, they both passed away in similar ways, and it had to do with car accidents, right? And on top of that, you had innocent bystanders that were on the scene of Jackie's accident, and they all said that it seemed like Jackie was running away from something herself. And it was also witnesses on the scene of Jackie's accident that alluded to the fact that whoever ran into her, it seems like it was done on purpose. So I don't know, y'all. It sounds extremely suspicious to me. You have DJ Twitch passing away 322 days after Ellen's birthday, which is a satanic number within the Illuminati realm. And then you have Jackie and Anne Heche passing away within 2 weeks of each other. And so you have to ask yourself, what did all three of these individuals have in common? They had information on celebrities within Hollywood that are involved in CST. And when you zero in and look at this situation right here, when it comes to Ellen, two of them had relationships with Ellen in DJ Twitch and Anne Heche. So y'all, look, I don't know. I'm not here to convict Ellen in the court of public opinion, but I will say that this looks highly suspicious. And me personally, I don't believe that DJ Twitch offed himself, right? I believe that Anne Heche was chased to her death. I believe that Jackie was chased to her death. And so it's not above the realm of possibility that all three of them, right? Jackie, Anne, and Twitch, that they're no longer here because of what they knew about Ellen. And so at the end of the day, you know, the information that they had was not going to only affect Ellen. It was going to affect a lot of people within the Hollywood realm. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to draw the line right here. I was going to get into some other details, but I was told not to put that information out because they're still uncovering some more information in regards to what I was going to talk about. So anyway, feel free to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this particular situation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.
Well, I don't think y'all really want to talk about this.
So you know
He might get
that's
off
like
next, and I don't need. I want to see Jesus, but I want to see him right now. Hello.
God don't give you spirit of fear. He give you love, peace, and a sound mind.
Child, but I'm saying with the as deep as this shit go, I want to see Jesus, but not right now. Not this moment.
Serve a God. Would you serve a God?
I like the man.
But don't you serve a God?
I know. I'm just being. I was joking.
Listen, I serve a God that is more powerful, but he tells you right straight up, this Satan's world. So he come back again. And I want to be smart not to mess with those friends over there. Because they got stuff going on that I ain't into.
They got too much going on. You hear me? I agree with myself. They got too much going on.
I've already voiced my opinion, and I'm going to say it again. Being that I was a fan of Twitch and Ellen DeGeneres' show, and I've watched them both for years, and I've watched his career blossom. Because I remember when he first, many years back, before he was even discovered or known, when he just applied, when he auditioned for like one of those "Do You Think You Could Dance" videos of television shows, and he made it to like the top 5. So Twitch was good from the beginning, and then when he, like I said, then I think that audition is where he met his wife. So they, like I said, so they've been married for quite some time. You know, they had, like I said, 2 kids, two children together, a boy and a girl. Plus, she already had a daughter. So he outstanding father, much like Legacy. He adopted the child, made the 3rd child his own, and treated the child no different. Good spirited, was a co-producer on the Ellen DeGeneres show, so he had a lot to lose. And then to all of a sudden you go to a hotel and leave a note and then kill yourself. I personally do not believe it. And that's just my opinion.
That's Anthony on the Anthony Brown Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his opinion. Yeah.
No, I don't believe he killed himself neither.
Whether or not
I don't believe
Ellen had anything to do with his death, I don't know. But I do honestly believe that he did not do it himself.
No.
Didn't they say he left like a note or something?
Yeah.
What
He supposedly left a suicide note.
What did it say?
No, it hasn't been revealed.
Because they still writing it.
Okay.
Oh, that could be. Oh,
that was Legacy the Great. That was Legacy the Great.
Anybody that know me from ATL, so Legacy ain't never been scared to say nothing.
Let me tell you, the thing about this thing is, it like half of these people that they naming on here, they are the bottom of the barrel. All the way to that Weinstein guy. What's that man named? Donald Trump. His ass used to go to his house.
Yep.
It's so many people high up on the chain to where, baby, they ain't even examined the letter to see was it in his handwriting. They gave no fucks. He dead. Dead man can't talk.
Dead man can't tell. Can't tell secrets.
But the thing is, I try to tell y'all, anytime you are an individual who are not doing the same things as the corrupt individuals, you have to be gone. Because in order for someone to be so corrupt, that means that somebody above them had to already know about it and okayed it and allow it to go on.
Right.
Or you already have something on those individuals, and Jeffrey Epstein had something on everybody.
Yeah.
So there was no way that Jeffrey Epstein was going to ever be able to go to trial and expose anything, because in order for him to do that, he would have to be able to expose senators, governors, politicians, your president, or all the movie star actors and things that actually participate in these things. So no, they're never going to allow this. You got to understand, these people make the laws. So they make laws to punish the poor and the weak, but those laws are not created to punish those that created the law. So in order for those people to not go up under the scrutiny of the law that they created, you have to eliminate any threat that can expose us by any means necessary. And it doesn't matter what color you are. It just means that you're not part of our group. So if you're not part of our group, if you're not part of our program, then that means you are a virus. And if you are a virus, that means that I have to create a what is that? I have to create something to remove the virus. And the easy way to remove the virus is to make it look suicidal. But the fact that, and we already know that they've done it on a level, because when Dave Chappelle was mad at them because they didn't want to agree to pay him the money that he rightfully earned for what was the name of the company?
Was it Netflix?
Comedy Central.
Okay, yeah.
It was Comedy Central. And he made all that money for Comedy Central because Comedy Central was nothing before Dave Chappelle got there. It was just a basic show. But the Chappelle show took them to the pinnacle. But once Dave started wanting his money, they only wanted to give him $50 million of the $500,000 where they said they were going to give him half. They told Dave, when Dave told them that he was ready to walk away from the talk show, that before he leaves the studio and get on his plane to leave to go to Africa, that by the time he get to Africa, the world would think he was smoking dope. And them folks did exactly what they said that he was gonna do, that they were gonna do. Nobody knew any signs of Dave Chappelle using drugs. He's a devout Muslim. Nobody knew or even thought that Dave Chappelle was doing drugs. But that's the story that they created so that they can tear his image down in the public eye. Yeah. So DJ Twitch and whoever the other two white ladies that had to be assassinated, when you're getting ready to expose certain things, you gotta go. And that includes family and all. But I said that to say this. And I know my sister was playing, but at the end of the day, there's nothing going to ever change in our society if we are not willing to die for something.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to die for something, then you're gonna fall for anything. So you have to be able to say, you know what, I talk about Malcolm and Martin, and I think about Medgar Evers and all these black people who got sacrificed so that we can have some of the privileges that we do have right now. Could you just imagine these people weren't willing to put their life on the line and die?
You know what, they're doing it wrong. See, they need to go and negotiate. They don't need to be snitching. They need to be cutting deals. Look, y'all doing what y'all do. We ain't gonna say nothing, leave us out of it. Give us this opportunity and let us unite as a people. We don't want no parts. They not standing up for nothing like that. They trying to go and tell the white man on the white man.
Mm-hmm. But Juicy, who do you think you can go tell or negotiate with that you go into a meeting and let's say it's all of us here. You're going to still trying to negotiate with the devil, telling the devil, hey, you can keep doing what you're doing, but please give us a little section over here away from you so that we can do it. That's not how that works. They just kill your ass on the spot and nobody even know what the hell happened. So no, the best way to expose somebody so that you can stay safe is for you to bring it to something like this so that you can get your voice out so that if you do get killed, they can already know why you got killed and how to go about seeing you get you some justice. You don't go in no room talking about negotiating with the devil.
Well, no.
But let me tell you, with it so high on the chain, nobody is ever gonna get punished for this.
No,
that mean them ones up there fold with them. And if one of the ones at that bottom want to fold, they're going to kill all them too.
All them too.
Look at Ye. He's still alive. all
because he verbally exposed them, Juicy.
That's what I'm saying. But he also didn't verbally expose him to just Warner Brother. He went and verbally exposed him to the people.
Exactly.
So, and none of these other people are doing that. We don't know, like, if this young man was like him and verbally exposed them to the people, we'd not be questioning, was he murdered?
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. When instead of going to talk to somebody, you don't go talk to somebody. You gather your information and you expose it on national television, or you expose this stuff to where a lot of people know you. Because if I hold it and try to go negotiate, they say, okay, well, we'll do it. Give us 3 days. In those 3 days, they've already lined up somebody to kill you and your family. Remove all the information, and nobody never knows. I remember it was in the 80s. It was a black dude that killed a couple of officers. But what they didn't know was the black dude, the officer was trying to assassinate him. This was in New York. And because he exposed them first, before they tried to assassinate him, a jury found him not guilty of the killing of the officers because the officers had no warrant. They had no reason to even be to his house. But had he not already verbally came to the media, told what he knew, if they would have caught him and killed him, he'd just been another black man dead. If you know something, you have to go ahead and say it. Damn being called a whistleblower, damn being called a snitch, you have to do something that is going to protect your life, because now they can't just come and kill you because the world has their eye on you now. That's why nobody has touched Yeezy, because nobody, if something happened to him now, everybody knows that the people that he was talking about had him killed because he ain't already trying to kill himself. And Twitch had a family. He loved his kids. He loved his wife. What reason can y'all put together to say that this man was suicidal? You had no inkling of this man being suicidal before you talk about a suicide note that you haven't even finished conjuring up yet. And after you finish doctoring it up and everything, now you're going to expose it and you're going to say what it needs to be said. But nobody's to question it, because if somebody had a suicide note and you're talking about they killed them, one of the first things they'd have put out a week ago was the suicide note said this, just so you can know it was a genuine suicide. Who go ahead, Kate.
I think anybody who died younger than Queen, what's the Queen who just passed?
Elizabeth.
50, Queen Elizabeth. If they younger than her and die in Hollywood, they all were murdered. That's how I look at it. Because they got enough money to stay alive. So ain't no reason anybody should be dying and doing anything. So suicide, the number one cover up to me.
Cover up or excuse?
Excuses only please those who give them. So I'm gonna say cover up because some people be sad.
Hey man, get them, Juicy.
I don't know much about Ellen and DJ Twitch. I've seen him several times, but he just seemed like the type, based upon the blueprint and the track record of his life, to take his own life. So
yeah, I don't know anything about your brother either. But anybody who's a DJ dealing with music, I just don't see them as suicidal either. It's expensive music.
And that was something he did on the side. Like I said, he was a co-executive producer for the show. So he was an important part of the show.
Yeah, to say DJ makes him seem like he's just on stage over there playing the drums.
Because when he first came on the show, he was just the DJ. Because Ellen discovered him and put him on the show. But then after she saw his talent and saw, you know, what he was bringing to the show, she made him, you know, a producer.
Now, hey, what if he had involved in things to get him to be a producer from DJ?
Worked his ass off.
Yep.
Worked his ass off. I really not even seen her show before, so you know.
What?
I believe when you come into these powerful circles that they always make sure they get you to do something that's either embarrassing or something incriminating to try to keep your loyalty to them.
Yes.
Because even when you like what's that? B. Scott basically touched bases on this. She was like, if you look at the wife looked petrified. She didn't look like she was in mourning. The wife looked like herself was in fear of, was it gonna bounce back or did she know something? I was like, okay, let's stick to the facts. But then all that junk spiraling out of control now.
His wife, the guy who killed himself's wife?
Yeah.
When did they show her?
They were showing leading up to the funeral and stuff like that. It's a whole bunch of videos and stuff out there. And they're basically trying to read her body language.
When was his funeral?
About 2 months ago.
Then they're also saying that he didn't leave no will.
Thank you.
I thought he just died this year.
No, it ain't just. It's like 2 months now. But it was so crazy that nobody believed it was something that he would have did.
I mean, it's hard to believe, you know, it's just like if it's one of us on the show, you know, host Tony or Legacy killed himself. If y'all know me and y'all know how I am as a person, I would hope that you say something ain't right, because regardless of what situation Legacy is, he always try to find himself to be in an upbeat place. He loved his daughter and his kids more than he loved himself. So I just can't see Legacy just hanging himself or overdosing on pills or this and that, because that's not something that I'm gonna do. Because I know that there's another day, and I know that there's gonna be a brighter day than what I'm feeling today. So that's not gonna be something that I'm going to do. So I'm letting you know on this goddamn show, if Legacy suicide, I wish a motherfucker would talk about our suicide myself, because that ain't in me. We can replay this show and let them know. He already was telling us years ago that ain't him. So we need an investigation.
But let me tell you, based on the life he lived and the person he was married to, them folks didn't like his ass anyways. They are not finna investigate that.
They didn't like him.
So his wife didn't like him?
Meaning, okay, his wife was white. A lot of them KKKs didn't want him making more of us because it wipes out their gene. So the ones that are in office that are up there, the majority of them things are them. So you got your Karens and your Billy Bobs. So they not investigating that.
But let me ask this question, Tay, that you say that, because I didn't know that. I know we say all the time that people love who they love and people marry who they want. When we live in a world where you know there are still people that believe the way that they believe that whites should marry whites, and we don't give a damn if blacks marry Hispanics, we don't give a damn that as long as you don't marry whites, why do we keep doing it?
Hey, to each his own. But
that is true.
But let's be clear. I was not the first person that said that. When I see tabloids or whatever, I love to read the comments. I love to see what people think. And a lot of people was literally like, what y'all expect? He was either going to be dead or in jail anyways. Like, they still have that mindset, or that, I don't know.
That you can't marry white.
to me, it just seems everything about this man, from his Instagram to his TikToks, it don't seem like he was no depressed person.
Right.
It don't seem like they trying to say the Miss USA lady that they say killed herself. They were like, there's no way, but it was this major big whitehead dude that, like, a company man that was going after her, and she filed harassment charges. Honey, less than a week later, the lady jumped off with 36 stories. Ain't nobody jumping off no 36 story with all these drugs that you could go get around the corner to go to sleep real easy.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
I think movies show you all the time, special movies that pertain to how the government, the CIA, and the FBI, and all these people move around. And it just be so amazing to me how these people don't really take heed to these movies. Actually predict and dictate, actually show you how our government moves. And they have people that they have called rogues that goes around and assassinates people for this type of stuff. And whatever they have to do to protect their image and to not have the government exposed, because just imagine the scandal that or the hit that the government would actually take if you found out that 30 of the U.S. senators are in the Jeffrey Epstein thing, messing around with little kids, or you find out that your favorite movie star Brad Pitt, Tom Hanks, because Tom Hanks and Angelina Jolie are some of the individuals who have been exposed to going to that island with Jeffrey Epstein.
True.
So let me show you a prime example. I could be a child that's finna get ready to go off to college. I got a full paid scholarship. And the news people find out that every day I hang with the biggest drug lord in Florida. Even though they don't have any evidence that I've sold any drugs, they can push the narrative that I'm hanging with a drug kingpin. And if I'm not selling drugs, why am I with him? So why is it that we can't push the narrative that these people who have been seen on these islands, that Jeffrey Epstein is known as a sex trafficker person, that you guys went over here, but he didn't have no children over here or no young girls or boys over here that he was having, that you ain't have sex with? You mean to tell me you went over to this island and you ain't seen none of this? No, you was over there participating, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander, because you have no reason to be over there with Jeffrey Epstein and he's a sex trafficker. That ties you into it.
That's true.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Make you want to stay all the way in your own damn lane.
Yes. How much sex can you have on an island? I mean, like, what are they doing over there?
People with little children.
Yes. It's the same type of island that our government officials all fly to and meet with big bankers and legislators, to where they make these rules and policies and laws and come back together and then try to put them on the book. But no American citizen had a say so on if these rules and regulations will be good for America.
What's that cartoon with them little kids? It's South Park.
Yeah, South Park.
They got little kids.
Yeah.
They had this episode. I took pictures of it, screenshot of a video of it, something. But they had an episode where the man was trying to get a lot of kids to go on a trip to an island with him, and he was saying what he was gonna do was play in the little people booties. He said we gonna play in the little kid booties when we get over there. But you'll have fun all the way. You'll have a whole lot of fun. It'll be worth your while. But you got to help me brainwash your friends. And so it's there's an old black man who I think the janitor or something like that.
Oh no, his name's Shelf. He had on the Shelf
he's
hat.
a cook. Yeah, he's a cook. He was who got brainwashed to get the kids to come and follow. And the storyline was even crazy. It was just, I'm like,
but why is it? You have to ask yourself and to know that the higher up people are affiliated with this, because how do you get to even make a cartoon to talk about sex trafficking and all of this stuff and playing little people booties and all this stuff? It has to be okay for the higher up to say, yeah, go ahead and make that. It's okay to do that, because see, it's fucked up that you can say that on TV and you know grown folks and kids watch South Park, but at the same time, Kanye West can't say what he want to say, and Kyrie Irving can't repost a post from Amazon about a movie. Right. That lets you know that these folks are all behind it. Oprah Winfrey was supposed, allegedly, and Tony will put it up in a minute. Why haven't you seen anything about Oprah shit no more? Oprah, nothing comes on, because Oprah got exposed about having that African school over there for little girls as a sex trafficking ring. And if you notice that,
That's what I heard.
And right after that, Ellen DeGeneres got brought into that same storyline, and her show went away. And they talking about she was on probation, but for what? And their shows ain't came back. Oprah Oxygen, I don't see that no more. I don't see none of her books really no more in the stores. So you have to ask yourself, why is that okay to show about playing in little somebody's booty's hole, which were kids? Then you threw it off. This secret dude supposedly had to talk to the black dude and brainwashed him. So we're gonna throw all the booty searching young kids thing on the black man because he the one that did it to talk them into doing it. Come on, man. We have to open up our eyes and learn to see things for what it is. Because most people feel like if it's on TV, it can't be real.
I just want to say good night, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and tap out, okay?
All right, love you, Savage.
Good night.
I'll keep y'all posted.
Okay, do that. I'm gonna call you when I get on.
Okay.
So this is what I'm saying. Even though that they do it like this, we have to start taking it for what it is. Because anybody that loves children and are against sex trafficking, even up on the hierarchy, are not going to allow people to make things, even if it's to make fun of, because it's not a fun of thing to talk about. You're not going to be able to air it at all, because we're not taking anybody to take this shit lightly.
I just think it's all crazy, to be honest. I wonder if stuff like this happens in other countries.
Of course.
Other countries got bans on certain things. You know, other countries have, but there's so many countries too.
Right.
And so there are other countries that, you know, that's where they get it from. Remember, these people aren't all from here. They're the ones who were exiled from there for what they were doing. So they came over here with what they were doing. This ain't new. It's new to us.
You ever seen that movie, The Woman King?
Yes, I've actually seen that 3 times.
I like it. It wasn't that great to me, but I do like it. But what it showed in the movie is our people was actually tricked into it was okay to take your women and give it to the white man and let them bring them over to the other country and stuff. And it showed at the end that King finally came to his rationalization of understanding that you was actually trading your women off and people off into slavery. And when they finally bucked against the system, the white people were coming in trying to slaughter them and wanted that tribe removed. Juicy, mute yourself. Mute yourself, Juicy. And were trying to slaughter that tribe because they actually was going against what it was that they wanted the system to do. If you look around, the United States tries to create an embassy and base in every country that they can be in. It's not there. They're not there for the politics per se to try to have a relationship with these countries so much. It's to be able to find out what type of resources and things that they have in these countries so that they can eventually turn over and kill them. It's to say, okay, if they don't want to do what we want us to do while talking, then what we do is we make the person who's in charge, who is not agreeing with us, we turn their people and their government against him to get them out of the position so that we can put who we want to put into that position to do what we want them to do. And then if nobody wants to do that, guess what you do? Kill them all.
You know what's crazy though? The embassies here and how they have they can do whatever they want to do. They get on the embassy and they cool. And they do whatever they want to do. And when they get on the embassy, they cool.
You talking about diplomatic immunity. You ever heard of diplomatic immunity?
Yeah.
That means that certain people can come in from another country, come through the embassy, get diplomatic immunity. They can actually kill people and not be punished for it because they're up under the diplomatic immunity.
Right. You
have to ask yourself this here. Look at the Brittany Griner situation. You telling me, and Lord forbid, nobody wanted Brittany to stay in prison. But Brittany went into another country and broke a law. So whatever that punishment was by you breaking that law, you needed to deal with it. But you're telling me that Brittany Griner, a U.S. basketball player, was worth a trade for a gun smuggling, assassinating, killing person, bombs, and all of that was worth a trade for a Russian spy that eventually is going to go home, get himself back together again, and come back and do it again. That was not an even trade. But you left the U.S. military man who already put his life on the line over there and out for our government, for our freedoms. You left him over there, and the only thing he was charged with having marijuana. You left him. But you traded Brittany Griner for this dude that you know gonna come back eventually and do the same shit that he did, which is bring bombs, guns, trade missiles to other countries and shit like that. So that lets me know our government don't give a shit about us. It was a political move from the Democratic Party so that when Joe Biden runs again, black people can say that he cares about black people. Look at what he did for Brittany Griner.
True. A political move.
It was a political move. Had nothing to do with if that would have been me and you and anybody else, I asked would have still been over there just like that military dude is. But because he know he needs to win the women's vote to have a good chance of being in the race, I gotta go ahead and make this trade to get Brittany Griner back so that the black women and the women's movement will support me.
And
because go
and
ahead, Kate.
And the alphabet community.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
They're gonna support.
Yes.
He hit all, and the sports fans.
Yes. It was a political move.
Mm-hmm.
It was ingenious.
Smart move. Brilliant.
Now the thing of it is, is what should we do with that smart move? Because just as smart as it was, it's quite obvious that that's what it was.
Kate, how many people you think right now, Kate?
Huh?
How many people you think right now, if we ask that question, would see that as a masterful chess move, or just or would say, okay, damn, that was a chess move, and what are we gonna do with it? The vast majority of people don't see that as a chess move. They see that as a caring president.
But if you have the opportunity to ask that question to that person, that is also an opportunity you have sparked their attention to plant the seed of what it was and what can be done. I mean, we got. I'm sure. Well, this is my first time talking about it like that, but at the same time, when you put it like that, it definitely was. Now, if I go have that conversation, I'm gonna take these same thoughts and I'm gonna have it. And now we need to do something different because he did this. That don't mean go vote for him. That don't mean go do this. But at the same time, why are we still participating in their voting system?
Because that's one of the most brainwashed things that is in our head.
But
because
that's where the form. I
ask you all the time, Kate, how do you do it when you don't have the resources to do it? Because let's say you're able to do it to 3,000 people that's in your area. Me and Tony are able to do it to 3,000 or 4,000 people in our area. That's a drop in the bucket because the vast majority of those people are not going to speak to another 1,000 people about it.
Right.
And the question that you have to ask yourself is this: why aren't our black politicians, why aren't our black civil rights leaders or our black spokespeople not talking about this now? Because they get enough money from these institutions to keep their damn mouth closed.
And so I'm not looking at it as we, the 300,000 people or whatever, need to do it, but the 300,000 who are watching the basketball game of LeBron, who's running, he could be owning, he could be creating. We got enough people who could be following if they would choose to be a leader, but they're not role models. They're just entertainers.
And I'm glad you said that because you every time you do see start to say something, what we don't see is there's other people who are behind the scenes that tell them, look, this is why I don't believe all these athletes and famous people actually have control over their money. It looks like they got this because all of this shit is a leasing to them. But no, I'm talking about all of that, the money that's in the bank account, because it's not tangible, because it's not sitting at their house where they say this is their money. This is just numbers on a computer system that people can turn around at any time and start erasing the shit out of their account.
Usain Bolt, didn't they just clear out his account?
Well, no, Usain signed up for a special type of it was like a Bitcoin that he was trying to invest his money in. Him, that was endorsed by Tom Brady and other people that were saying this is a good thing, it's an up and coming thing, and the thing actually tanked and went under. So he actually lost like $10 million in the thing. But I hope he didn't put all his money into it, because Usain Bolt, with the endorsements and things that he made over the years of being the best runner in history of life, made about anywhere between $120 million to $300 million. That's what his net worth supposed to have been worth, what he would have made with the endorsements and all these contracts. But I'm just saying, we don't have a big enough platform, nor do we have people who are willing to sacrifice everything, because they've got so accustomed to a lifestyle that they're willing to sacrifice the many just to keep the few afloat. And that's including themselves and their family. every time you I didn't understand it at first, but I do now to a degree. Every time LeBron has said something or made a stance, you've heard some white person come out and say, why don't he just shut up and just dribble? I never saw Michael Jordan stand on any issue. And I'm a Michael Jordan fanatic, but I've never, even to this day, I've never seen Michael Jordan come out and take a political stance on anything. And what I've learned is Michael Jordan understands that that money don't belong to him. We're leasing it to you. That name brand shoe you got, even though we got your face, that's our money. Now you either go continue to play by our rules and keep your goddamn mouth closed, or we'll start exposing some of the skeletons in your closet. We'll start doing these things. We'll start doing this. Kanye is a prime example. Kanye was announced to be one of the many black people that had made it to $1 billion.
Didn't they kill Michael Jordan, Daddy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
Maybe but go ahead.
But that's what I'm talking about too, Juicy. When you show somebody, because before Michael Jordan retired, he was making the NBA so much money. The NBA lost so much money in those 2 years of Michael Jordan not playing. They went to Mike. I guarantee they went to Mike and said, "Hey, we want you to come back." Mike say, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna play baseball." No, the fuck you're not. You're gonna play basketball. Oh, I'm playing baseball. And he went and played baseball. And in that time frame, Michael Jordan daddy got murdered. They blamed it on 2 kids, a black boy and a white boy, so that it didn't look so suspicious. And you're saying, oh my God, but guess what? After Michael Jordan daddy died, guess what Michael Jordan did? Came back to basketball. Came back to basketball. Nigga, if you ain't depressed about your daddy still being murdered, the reason you brought your ass back because you know that them folks were gonna get your mama, your sister, your brothers, your children. So let me go and play another 5 years, make the NBA more money, make Nike more money, make me a little money the way it looked like I'm doing something. And then all of a sudden, I can go ahead and retire. No, but when you sign up, just like Kate said earlier, when you sign up with these people in higher authority, the only way you ever to play ball with those type of people is because you have sold your soul. That's why everybody is not rich, because everybody haven't got to the pinnacle of being able to sell their soul for the riches of the world.
You know, it's funny because once he retired, he still was making money for him. They let him be owner.
Mm-hmm.
They said, okay, we'll let you play because we know that your money still will generate ticket sales to our games and so forth. Well, yeah, we'll let you have. Mm-hmm. And then once he couldn't even hold up on that, where's Waldo?
Listen, Magic Johnson was their first. But listen, watch this. When Kobe retired, because Michael passed the torch to Kobe. Kobe wasn't completely into selling his soul with it. Because when Kobe got out, Kobe went to doing things to enlighten and teach other people how to get strong. And it was just amazing to me how Kobe died, the way he died with his daughter and other people's families. But at the same time, when they got right after Kobe's funeral, COVID took over in the United States. The exact week that they buried Kobe, the next day COVID was told that we couldn't go to work, we couldn't leave the house, and this and this and that. And you have to just look at stuff sometime and just put it in a perspective of, damn, these people really don't play by the rules.
Do you think Kobe's death was?
Yes, I do think Kobe was killed. No.
Oh.
No. Everybody else that died behind it is collateral damage. That's collateral damage. But we have to get our man. We have to get our man. But we're gonna go and get ready to get up out of here. We love y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to get out. We've at our deadline. We're gonna go ahead and bring the juiciest cakes in the business to the platform.
Well, you can find me here on the ATL show every Tuesday and Friday. And check out me on Facebook. It's Nicole Purse. On Instagram, Miss Beautiful. TikTok, Miss Juicy Cakes. And check out my website for all your herbal teas and homeopathic needs.
All right. We're going to just give a shout out to Don Allen, who had to leave early. We're going to give a shout out to my sister, Savage. I'll give you a call in a little bit. We appreciate you making us whole today. We're going to give a shout out to my sister, Tayama, the boss lady, for coming on, giving her words of wisdom and things tonight. But we're going to go ahead and touch bases with the man that makes it possible for us outside of God. AB, let him know.
What's up, everybody? This is Anthony Brown. Find me on all social medias. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under Anthony Brown or The Anthony Brown Show. You can also reach me on my Facebook page, Anthony the Writer. I'm now on TikTok as well as Facebook Reels. Words to live by is you got to grind until you shine. And for business purposes, definitely reach out to me for 561-768-3710. And yeah, I had a wonderful time. And my birthday was awesome this weekend. We did a very short video. I'll be posting that video tomorrow on YouTube. So be looking out for the video on YouTube, and you'll see how much Legacy the Great was showing his ass. So everybody tune in tomorrow on YouTube to watch the video for my birthday.
He don't have permission for me to show it. I'm not on there.
Stay tuned.
All right, y'all. Y'all know who I am. I'm Legacy the Great. You can find me on Facebook at Dream Williams. You can also get at me on YouTube at Legacy the Great. My email address is legacyunlocked@mail.com. For business purposes only, dealing with legal business or you are locked outside of your vehicle, give me a call at area code 229-630-7615. Make sure to continue to tune in on Tuesdays and Friday, 9 p.m. live where ATL do their thing. And as my brother said, grind until you shine. And you know what I say? ATL, ho!
28 grams of moss, 28 grams of moss. Little beef of the king, little beef of the king. Y'all ain't ready for this, y'all ain't ready for this. Yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the. Don't know why you can't wanna wait to be with the sweet just to give you cats a chance to eat. What you got for early getting finished the plate. Now that I'm back, you rap cats are gonna have to wait. Been gone a whole year, still nobody got the leadership or the heart to even feel my spot. I'm the champion, must I say it again? The best in this rap game and I continue to win. See, I'm allergic to that, losing makes me sneeze. Like you phony rap cat, about to make it squeeze. Bring your whole crew, nigga, I'ma swallow that. So when it pops off, ASC is on a holler back. It's 28 grams, nigga. I've been running this shit. So anything in front of me can fuck around and get hit. I follow you rap cats, so you niggas my sons and I'm the truth. Why? Cause I'm the motherfucking champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the still rep the A&T, but I carry my throne. God bless every child that can hold it home. And I am that child, as you niggas can see. Cause ain't another rapper out there better than me. And this goes to anybody trying to steal my spot. I'm number one in this shit, so number one you die. So when you can't scream, y'all is the best, I laugh. Like really, you cats don't really know the how. You do the math, and that's yourself who really great. Then add it up and watch it equal up to 28. So that's the damn cat know who really the done. I'm overall, I let you niggas fight for number one. See, I put that on my life, put that on my son. Gotta stay the best of people licking Trey Lund. And my throne on my key, you can put that on my heart.